and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Now in this video I'm going to be going over my trading 212 ISA stock portfolio once again and giving you an update on everything for the past week. Now this is my first video on my ISA. You may have seen everything is now in the red and the market isn't looking the best for the week, to say the least. Now there's been a bunch of things happen in terms of news, in terms of the UK market and everything that's essentially caused this massive drop in the market. However, I'm not going to go over too much of the details. I just wanted to do more of an update video. Now what I'm currently doing is dollar cost averaging £180 into the portfolio every single day, and the reason for that is because, as you can see, I have maxed out my ISA for the year. This was at over £40,000 the other week, last week. However, you can see I have a lot of cash sat here that I don't want to be sat here. So I'm dollar cost averaging this cash every single day, about £180 worth, until the new financial year starts in April, of course, next year. So I've worked out that with the active days that the market is open, I need to dollar cost average £180 a day on average to not have any free funds left before the new financial year comes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lump sum payment of 20k into the ISA and max that out next year in April, and then dollar cost average that over the course of the year as well. So as you can see, over the last week, we have had an interesting turn in the portfolio. Now, since last week, we have pretty much invested another £1,000 into the portfolio. Again, we're doing about 180 a day. So last week, we were sat, roughly at the weekend, down about 1.68% overall in the portfolio. Then we took this hit of about another £200 hit on the Monday. And then we came back up here, recovered slightly, and then of course it stabled off overnight. Then the next day we went down another £200. We came back up. We went all the way back up, and I was, down to 500 in profit. And then yesterday we had this crazy news, which obviously started the portfolio dipping on Wednesday. And then yesterday we had this ridiculous news about the CPI data, and we dropped all the way down to negative £1,228, down almost 7% on the portfolio overall. However, we did slightly recover down to, only down 5%. And then today we have sort of climbed back up, and now I'm only down about 3%. So what a turbulent time in the market over the last week. However, that is just the stock market. Now the S&P 500, if you haven't seen my current pie, I'm investing in this ETF pie. 50% of everything that I invest goes in the S&P 500. 10% goes in iShares Global Clean Energy. 10% in FTSE 100. 10% in FTSE All World High Dividend. 10% in Vanguard Emerging Markets. 5% in physical gold, and 5% in global water. So that is where I'm currently diversifying into this portfolio. And if we take a look at the Vanguard over the last week, we can see again, when this CPI data came out, we dropped all the way down to £59 a share of VUSA, which isn't the best. Of course, we have recovered quite a bit today. You can see over the last day, we are up 2.63%. I did buy yesterday. However, I do believe when I bought it was around here, around the £60 mark. So my £180 that I put in yesterday is of course up a little bit. Can I actually see? Yeah, I can see this history. So yesterday I bought an average share price of £61. So you can see again, that is up. So yesterday I bought around this price when it did start to climb back up. I was out around this time when it dipped. Otherwise I would have bought a nice amount of 130 yesterday, but unfortunately I wasn't in the house. So yeah, that was bought. So this was actually filled before the crash. This was at 11 a.m. So that was before I left the house actually. So it was actually around here before we had this crash. So I wish I bought again here. However, I did buy again this morning. So my average buying price is £63, and if we take a look over the last month, we're down about 4%. So look, I mean, the goal of this portfolio, and I have about 40 grand in here. I'm 21 years old from the UK. I own a business online, and that's how I'm able to invest aggressively in the stock market. I also have a dividend portfolio, which I'm going to be updating today as well after this video. But yeah, I mean, the goal for this portfolio, I'm not going to be touching any of these. I'm not going to be selling or taking any profits I hope for as long as possible, right? I obviously can't predict the future. However, I am planning to continue to max out this ISA for as long as I humanly possibly can, until, of course, it comes to retirement and I actually need to touch these funds. Or if I need to before that time, then of course I can. It's all tax-free and no problem there. So I'm really just building this as a long-term hedge or just to move money into, right? And take profits from the business and put it into this account. So that's currently what's happening. The portfolio is currently set at 39,551, 17.5k is invested, and I am sat way over 50% in free funds. I mean, imagine if I had all of this invested, we'd be down a lot more than £600 right now. But I mean, down £600, I don't mind. Again, this is very long-term stuff. If we take a look at average, average anywhere between 6 and 10% a year for the stock market, and that's tracking the S&P 500. Of course, that's the majority of my investment. So I'm not too annoyed at that at all. I mean, again, long term, I won't be touching this for probably a minimum of like 10 years, I hope anyway. So, short term, this doesn't really bother me too much. If we take a look over the last 3 months of this portfolio, we are currently at its all-time high of being invested. 3 months ago, if we take a look at the year chart, actually, you can see we're currently at its all-time high of being invested. But my all-time high profit, I think I was up about £1,000 here. Yeah, 6% back in August. So yeah, been a very turbulent time over the last week or two. However, we have started climbing back up today. Today, I've actually made about £400, technically, right? Since obviously this crash. So, but yeah, there you go, guys. There's an update on the ISA portfolio. I'm going to continue updating this maybe multiple times a week. But yeah, there's the ISA. I use Trading 212 for that. I'll leave a link in the description. If you are interested in signing up, you get a free stock for doing so. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.